feel energized when I hear the UST crowd cheer, "Go, Ste!" It always brings me great pride to represent my school, UP.
Ang sarap na makiramdam.
Walang tatalo sa samahan. Wala akong takot. Sino man ang kalaban.
I just get goosebumps
When I salute the crowd after a big play. Buo ang loob ko sa bawat laban. Ang tunay na warrior, matibay ang puso.
Nothing beats playing inside a jam-packed arena against your arch rival.
There are many stories to see, hear, and feel in the UAP.
Season 73, ABS-CBN Sports.
Good afternoon from the Phil Sports Arena for ABS-CBN Sports, continuing live and exclusive coverage of the second round here in Season 73 of the UAP on Studio 23 and Balls HD. Up ahead, we got the main event. The University of Santo Tomas tries to halt the 4-game losing streak when it goes up against league-leading Far Eastern University, which will try to clinch the first Final Four spot this season. My name is Aaron Atayde. Joining me is Coach Marco Benitez. And Coach, we got a pretty good game for us here today.
Yes, Aaron, exactly. And I'm sure FPU was watching intently the first game where Adamson was upset by UE, so they don't want to be the second victim of upsets today. Of course, FPU defeated UST in their first outing, but UST had a good showing up until the third quarter.
There's a whole lot of topsy-turvy moves when it comes to the standings right now. So let's take a look at the 8 teams and where they stand so far in Season 73.
Well, going into this game, Aaron, FPU is still at 8-1, Ateneo 7-2, but they're playing against LaSalle tomorrow. Adamson, with that loss, goes down to 7-3, so more than one game behind FEU. LaSalle still at 6-3, University of Santo Tomas. If they win today, will draw closer, down 2 games closer to LaSalle. While, National University is at 3-6 also. UE 3-7 from their 2-7 record before this game. UP still at 0-9. So big games here. If FEU wins, they get further away from the pack from Ateneo. But if they lose, then Ateneo has a chance to draw level with them tomorrow against LaSalle.
Both of these teams are coming off one of the best games so far of the season. Yes. One of them going into overtime, the other one going into double overtime. But first, let's take a look at UST. And despite going into extra periods for them, Jeric Teng was non-existent. Well, to the point that they weren't able to, come out with a win against Adamson.
Well, yes, Jeric Teng, he's a sophomore for UST, but already he's one of their go-to guys. He averages 7 points, against Adamson. He scored only 7 points in 36 minutes, 50% shooting, but he only had 4 field goal attempts. He's the second leading scorer for this team, averages 10.8 points per game. So definitely he was missed in that Adamson game, especially that game went to double overtime. So practically absent for Jeric Teng.
And if UST wants to come up big and maybe pull away a win here today against the league-leading FEU Tamaraws, he needs to come up big. So let's talk right now to Patch Cansana. And Patch, what is going on with Jeric, and how is he trying to overcome the adversities that he's facing so far?
Yeah, I had a chat with Jeric earlier, and it already came from him that he's been experiencing some problems. He said that he hasn't adjusted to the games yet, and now that the defense on him is becoming a problem since his drives are already looked after. That is why he wants to have a mix-up on his games, and he wants to focus more now on his mid-range shooting. That's why he did additional training, doing more shooting and dribbling drills. And since Jeric's have been bad games, you know what he does after that? He watches a movie with his cousins and his siblings. He watches whatever's on top of the charts, and the latest movie that he saw was Step Up 3 that I haven't even seen.
Well, so, whatever can get you over the top, right?
Yes, I'm sure that was a good way to relax. But one thing we want to look at, Patch, also is that in the last game, it was R.R. Garcia who really torched UST in the fourth quarter. He scored 10 points against UST in that game. So is there anything special that Coach Pido has planned for R.R. Garcia?
Well, Coach Pero talked a lot about defense, but there was just 2 letters that was said, and it is RR. He said that he knew that RR finished UST during the last game, and whoever's man RR's man is, he wants him to imagine that he is married to RR and follow him everywhere he goes. Aaron and Marco.
Thanks for that one, Pat. So with that, let's take a look now at FEU. The big thing here is that Real Cervantes will not be suiting up for them here today. It is a big loss. He is suspended because he has 2 unsportsmanlike fouls. And based on their last game, well, so far the entire season rather, he has been big on so many levels.
Yes, Real Cervantes going to the season. Big improvements. You saw on their screens, average 12 points, 6.7 rebounds, and he plays 25 minutes for the FEU Tamaras. He's probably the second best scorer and probably second most consistent player on their team. So with his loss, we're wondering who is going to step up. Of course, you have the likes of Pipo Nondu, you have Mark Bringas, you have Carl Cruz. So very deep bench for Coach Glenn Capascio. But still, big loss in terms of Real Cervantes.
All right, so let's talk now to Stephanie C. And Steph, there was a big thing in the last game. They had to go into overtime to finally put away UE. How's the team looking at that past win?
Well, yeah, like you mentioned earlier, it's an overtime victory before FEU got back on its winning track. And with that, the Tamaraws were happy with their hard-fought win. Sir Anton Montenola, who's FEU's team manager, even said, "Let's give credit to UE. Lumaban sila, but we outlasted them." So for that match, you could say that the Tamaraws were really tested. Also, Coach Glenn said, "Wag natin sasayangin ng 8-1, disiplina lang tayo." Aaron and Marco.
Well, Steph, one follow-up question, Steph. Is there anybody specific, any big man Coach Glenn is really looking to pick up the slack of sorts with the absence of Real Cervantes?
Well, having a deep bench, the Tamaraws still have the likes of Aldrich Ramos, Pipo Nondu, Anton Bringas, and of course, birthday boy Brian Cruz. And Coach Glenn believes that it's time for the others as well as the rookies to step up. So we'll be expecting them to dominate inside the paint as they grab every rebound that they can get. Aaron and Marco.
All right, thanks for that one, Steph. So that does it for our pregame. We're going to cut to a break. When we come back, we got the starting 5 for both teams and tip-off. UST and FEU coming up after this.
Forward number 12, Chris Camos. Shooting forward number 18, Ed Dakiwag. At center number 13, Paulo P. Point guard number 19, Eddie Aitona. And an off guard number 16, Jarek Teng. Head coach of the Crawling Tigers, Pito Harencio. And now, starting with the league-leading FEU Tamaras. At shooting forward number 12, Brian Mendoza. Power forward number 21, Pipo Nondu.
On your screens right now is the starting 5 for both teams. Pipo Nondu, Mendoza getting the start for FEU in place of Real Cervantes, and Dakiwag starting for UST.
Well, Aaron, looking at their starting 5s, if you take a look at the last game, pretty much the same starting 5 for Coach Pito Harencio against FEU, except he put in Aitona instead of Wong, the guy who he started last time. And this is second consecutive game where he's let Jarek Fortuna come off the bench. So I guess he's trying to relieve some of the pressure on the shoulders of Jarek Fortuna so that he doesn't have to really step up immediately off the bat.
And it's also to extend the bench. I mean, UST is not really known right now, well, this season, for having the deepest bench. So if he can stretch that as far as possible, that would be so good for UST in this game.
Exactly, that's a good one, because once he goes to his bench, he still has Clark Bautista, you still have Jarek Fortuna on the bench to provide you some added firepower.
Jarek Teng, spin move off the glass is no good, and that's the first rebound of the game for FEU.
And on the side of FEU, the only change is Grant Mendoza, because in the last game against UST, he started Pingam Siminiano. So now he's starting Grant Mendoza, but still he has the chores of defending Jarek Teng.
Pipo Nondu, who is apparently feeling a little bit better. There were reports that he was feeling an injury but he's on the floor. He's looking like he's moving well, so that would be good for him. So with that, let's send it over now to Stephanie C for the Samsung courtside update. Steph?
With this battle being the final game held here in the Phil Sports Arena, the Tamaraws are looking forward to win here for the last time. Since the Growling Tigers are head of the pack in its 3-point field goals, Coach Jen instructed his boys to play good defense by extending it to the 3-point marker, as well as to locate USD's shooters, namely Fortuna, Teng, and Bautista. Earlier in the dugout, the atmosphere was good as he reminded everyone to start strong, be aggressive, and respect the opponent at the same time. Coach also stressed the importance of communication by telling the team to move the ball and to look for the open man. Sabi niya, huwag mawawala, samahan sa loob, walang inggitan, magandang ball movement tayo. As long as the Tamaraws play and support each other, they'll be able to control the game's tempo. Aaron and Marco?
Thank you for that Samsung courtside update. Turn on tomorrow from Stephanie C. Marco, the big point there is that they know that USD is the #1 perimeter scoring team with 34.4, and they want to be able to contain that. As we take a look at this PS Bank maasahan assist, sobrang bilis na, may prime rebate pa, PS Bank home loan.
And you know what, Aaron? I think FEU has the material to really contain the perimeter players of USD, which they did in the last game. They have guys like Hotel. As you see another shot, this is a back-to-back baskets for Aldis Ramos. They have guys like Hotel, Eximiliano, even Kawaling, and Sanga, and also, of course, RR Garcia is there. So they can match USD in terms of perimeter points. So it's the big men that will be the difference in this game, I feel.
Camus to Aitona, 7 on the shot clock. Hotel guarding him. Aitona driving, 1 on the shot clock. He doesn't notice it, and that's 24-second shot clock violation. Great defense there by FEU. Let's send it over now to Patch Gansana for the Samsung courtside update. Patch?
This is a very important game to the Tigers, and allow me to talk about a very important person who contributed a lot during their last game, and I'm talking about Chris Camus. Did you know that this Warrior just suffered a contusion on his left quad just this week, and he got it during Adamson's games when he was setting a screen, and someone's knee accidentally bumped him. So he had therapy for 2 days, and he only had 2 days of practice, which was Thursday and yesterday. And I asked if this will affect his game. The stuff he said, no, wala to. Sanay ako na maglaro with injuries. Pain is only in the head, sabi nga ni Coach sa akin. Chris speaking on behalf of the team, expressing how aggressive they will be today in the next 5 games. Aaron and Marco?
Thank you for that Samsung courtside update. Turn on tomorrow from Patch Gansana. Chris Camus in the last game had 16 points, 4 3-pointers, and almost coming away with a steal on this end.
Yes, and if I'm not mistaken, he played like 36 minutes during that game. So obviously this guy's one of the warriors for USC as we see this replay.
Solmic's insta-cool play, high performance of the quarter. Solmic's true tab with insta-cool cough relief. Camus had 38 minutes, 16 points, 4 3-pointers, 14 rebounds to go with a steal and a block. So he was all over the place for USD in regards to that stat sheet. Steal there by USD at Dakiwag up ahead. Only has R. Garcia to beat. Teng wide open for 3. No good. And it will be USD ball. Last touch by Mendoza.
Well, this will also be key Aaron, for USC. Second chance opportunities, because in the last game, FEU dominated them. They had 21 second chance points compared to just 10 for USD.
That was our clear man high precision here on Studio 23. We got FEU up 4-2. As this is our KFC Snack Box Hardcore Fan of the Game. Vote for your school, win 3 days of free KFC. It is a low-scoring game right now. And Marco, the one misconception that everybody has about FEU is that they're a low-scoring, more defensive team. But when I was looking at the stats, they're the #1 points per game team in the league.
Well, actually, it's really because of their bench. You have so much firepower in the team. You have RR Garcia, and then you have Terence Romeo coming off the bench. Plus, you have Aldis Ramos, you have Real Cervantes. So much firepower for FEU. And it's just that they also play good defense because they limit their opponents to, I believe, less than 70 points per game.
This is our Powerade Hyper Play of the quarter. Get back on defense, push the ball on offense, step up your game with Powerade. Time ball game at the 6:24 mark in the first quarter. USD needs to take advantage of this lack of offense for FEU. Dakiwa driving against R. Garcia, stolen away by Mendoza. Up ahead, finds Nuwandu, finishes it at the rack, and FEU regains the lead.
At that time, Dakiwa had the right intention of attacking R. Garcia on defense, but there was not so much space, and that's why it allowed Mendoza to get the steal off of it.
Okay. and Camus now. So both teams have somebody feeling some injuries. Camus and Luando in the game. No good is three-pointer by Aitona, and FEU is off running. R.R. Garcia attacks. Dishes it back out there. It's Romeo now. FEU will reset the play. Aldrich Ramos. Mendoza hits the three. Pushing the lead up to 5.
And you know what, Aaron? That was set up all along by R. Garcia. He saw the mismatch, made Aldrich Ramos go down to the post, and then gave it to him. And Aldrich Ramos, recognizing the switch, kicks it out to Mendoza.
And that goes back to those two previous baskets of Aldrich Ramos that USD had to start recognizing his offensive power.
Exactly, exactly.
Camus driving, stripped away, and there's a foul called on Pipo Nuando. Check out our C2 Cool and Clean Steel, the #1 ready-to-drink tea made from 100% natural green tea leaves at Pilfer earlier by Mendoza. Leading into our Cornetto fast break. Sarap ng fast break na yan, parang Selecta Cornetto. Sarap ng 20.
That's what we were talking about, Aaron. Takiwag saw that his teammate, Jarek Teng, was already on the corner. Still, he attacks that side. So FEU defender was able to get a steal off of him.
Teng, now you got Jarek Fortuna into the game. And the point for UST. Fortuna driving. Teng into Melo Afong. He needs to hit that if they want to be a big contender here today. Misses it. Afong with the second chance point. The bang and the bucket.
And that is what UST is going to, one of the keys for UST. If they want to really stay close to FEU, second chance opportunities, second chance points.
This is our Mentos Rainbow conversion. This three-point shot is brought to us by Mentos Rainbow because it's better to know what's coming next. UST is 6th in the league with 8 points in second chance points opportunities. And that was our Alaksan FR Arayco Galinko shot of the game. Alaksan FR Arayco Galinko.
And if you look at UST's 5 on the floor, he's pretty much a big lineup for them. You have Camus, Pe, and Afuang playing the 3 positions. So already Coach Pido recognizing the importance of getting those rebounds.
Chris Camus playing small forward for UST. That is a big thing. Because if you move Jarek Teng down to shooting guard, he's going to be guarding R.R. Garcia, and that's a bigger body. Mendoza gets past the half-court line, but there's a foul called on Melo Afong, his first foul of the game. Take a look at that again on our Samsung Instant Replay. Samsung turn on tomorrow. Reach in. Yeah, that's what happens when you're guarding a smaller defense. When you're guarding somebody smaller that's handling the ball.
Afong was forced to use his body to really try and stop Mendoza because Mendoza has the advantage in terms of foot speed.
Bring us. Passes it. Ramos had 6 points in the first quarter alone for Aldrich Ramos, the Smart Gilas alumnus.
And that is where the advantage is for Aldrich Ramos. He has the height advantage over Melo Afuang, and that is why he already has 6 points in this ball game.
Mendoza to Romeo and FEU looking to counterattack here. Bring us. Great defensive play there by Jarek Fortuna, sticking with it. This is our PS Bank Maasahan assist. Sobrang bilis na, may prime rebate pa. PS Bank home loan. Aldrich Ramos, 6 points, 3 for 3 from the field to go with 3 rebounds in the early going of this game.
Both coaches having substitutions. Eximiniano coming in because Coach Glenn saw that Clark Bautista already entered the floor. So #1 3-point shooter for UST being guarded by one of the better defenders for FEU.
Romeo throws it up, no good. Bring us with the rebound, no good as well. And UST will get possession here. Fortuna at the controls. Eximiniano guarding Melo Afong. There's a size difference there.
Exactly.
Bautista finds Afong and he knows it and he gets that basket to go. Yet another bang in the bucket for him.
And that was good recognition on the part of the UST players, seeing, like what you said, Eximiniano was defending Afuang, so immediately they went to the post on him.
That was that offensive rebound by Anton Bringas at Star Margarine Power Rebound. Iba na ang matangkad, iba na ang batang Star. And this is our Yaki Sobrang move, which is brought to you by Nissan Yaki Soba, Nissan Yaki Sobrang Sarap.
So far UST doing a better job off the offensive boards, 3 versus 2. with already 5 second chance points with none yet for FEU.
And we were saying that that is a big part if they want to win here today, because I mean, you can't always rely on that three-point shot as Clark Bautista checks into the game and makes his presence felt with a steal right there. There's a pick, Bautista driving, Fortuna, jab step, double team now, Melo Afuang turns the ball over, great steal there by Terrence Romeo, and Eximignano up ahead, and he finishes that one. 3-point advantage now for FEU.
I think UST would like to get a better set out of this, read the mismatches, and see if they can get Clark Bautista open for a shot.
Melo Afuang now has Jarek Kawaning on him as Jarek Fortuna hits that one. Cutting the lead down to 1. So it's a 13-12 score as we take a look at our Corneto fast break. Sarap ng fast break na yan. Parang selecta Corneto, sarap ng 20-20. Eximignano finishing that one, which leads us to our Samsung timeout. Turn on tomorrow. Brought to you by Silverworks. Vote for your ultimate hardcourt heartthrob. Look for Silverworks on Facebook right now. Silverworks, wear it proud. Melo Afuang. 1-point advantage for FEU. And this is exactly what UST wanted. They've only attempted 1 3-pointer so far in the game. Stay in it until those 3 start falling, I guess.
Yes. And the more they're focusing first on the inside play, we've seen them try Melo Afuang in the post twice already. So, again, being contained, being in control is UST.
Double dribble called on Terrence Romeo. So that'll be turnover number 6, I believe, for FEU. This is our Rexona Men shot block. New Rexona Men, unbeatable defense against sweats.
Good idea there by Jarek Fortuna, but he found himself in the land of giants, so...
Fortuna, as we near the 2-minute mark. Bautista looking to get free. Camus with the pull-up, no good. And bring us with the rebound.
Although that shot didn't go in there, that's a good play because that Camus is free within his range. And I know in the last game against Adamson, they did that several times and were successful.
Bring us. Charging call there on the reach around on Melo Afuang. So good defense there by UST. His first foul on him. And it was caught on our Samsung Instant Replay. Turn on tomorrow. Konting awe ng konti.
Inawe. So far, the big men of UST having a good showing. Except for Aldrich Ramos, they've really contained the big men of FEU so far in this ball game.
This is where you miss Real Cervantes.
Yes, because Real Cervantes provides you the scoring, especially from the outside, to extend the defense of UST.
For Bautista now, teardrop gets it in.
And you love how they're not forcing the three-pointer. As what you were saying earlier, Aaron, they're not forcing it, getting higher percentage shots is UST.
Because if you can get that inside shot, you know, it'll open up the rest of the floor for you.
And sometimes one of the tendencies for UST is to really fall in love with a three-pointer. The fact that last game they only had 2 free throws just shows that they fell in love with shooting outside shots.
Cruz there regains the lead for FEU. Fortuna at the controls for UST. Bautista trying to get free from Eximignano, the defensive specialist for FEU. 6 on the shot clock. Mariano now, 2 on the clock. Teardrop gets it in.
Great sidestep move there by Alden Mariano, and also great recognition of the clock.
FEU now trying to convert all 7 field goals that they've had in this first quarter coming on assists, so it's been a team effort for FEU. Bring us off the glass, gets it in, and that's another assist off of another field goal for FEU.
And if you notice, back-to-back points from FEU coming from the relieving big men. The first one was by Carl Cruz, the second that one was by Bringas.
Foul called on Bringas, and that'll be his 2nd foul of the game already. And this is our Hoop It Up, We Play Your Game. Teardrop by Clark Bautista. And this is our Unilab quality moment of the game. Trusted quality healthcare. Cruz on that put-in. Melo Afuang heading to the line for 2 free throws. 2 for 2 from that 15-foot parallel. So try and convert 2 more here in the dying seconds of the first quarter as he gets his third free throw to go.
And then you have Paul Sanga coming into this ballgame. Paul Sanga, one of those shooters of Coach Glenn that really still has to find consistency.
Yes.
We were talking about this during the pregame. The first game against USC in the first round, 0 points. Also their last game against UE, I think he didn't score any baskets. So still trying to find his game is Paul Sanga.
So it's 17 all. And FU will take the last shot here of the first quarter. Jared Kowalik from deep, no good. Ramos with the rebound, put up, gets it in at the buzzer. So FU will take a 2-point advantage going into the second period. And it has been Andre Ramos was come up big. He's got 8 points and 4 boards as FU needs that extra support from that front court. And the 1917 score update is brought to you by KFC UAAP Snack Box. Score for your school with the Shoot Your Vote promo by KFC. Melo Afuang is our Jollibee champ of the game candidate. Big Burger goodness like no other. We're going to cut to a break. It is a 2-point advantage for FEU. The FEU and UST when we come back. On Studio 23, start of the second quarter. Garcia Ramos for 3, no good. And during the break, Andre Ramos had an emphatic block on Jerry Fortuna, closing the door on that drive.
Well, so far, Aaron, we've seen 17 to 19 close game. There's your block, Rexona block.
Our Rexona men shot block. New Rexona men unbeatable defense against Sweats.
And we were talking about UST doing a good job at this ballgame. Already they've matched FEU with 4 offensive rebounds, but they have more second chance points, 5 to 2. And FEU committing more turnovers, 7 to 5 versus UST. So UST so far doing well and doing the keys that they need to win.
And the things that we were pointing out, the second chance points, they're in there. The offensive rebounds, they're in there as well. So if they can keep this up, they're only down by 2. If they can start hitting those 3-pointers.
Exactly. I was going to say the nice thing about this is that they haven't hit their 3-pointers yet. So imagine if they start clicking from the outside, how close this will be.
Great pass there by Jared Kowalik to Cruz on the finish.
So that's the second basket from Carl Cruz. And again, the big men of FEU stepping up in the absence of Rio Cervantes.
Let's send it over now to Stephanie C. for the Samsung Courtside Update. Turn on tomorrow, Steph.
It's the second time that Tamaraos and the Growling Tigers meet, and as much as possible, Coach Glenn wants his team to win. With Real Cervantes unable to offer his services inside the court, the Bigs will definitely have to put the extra effort. During the huddle, Coach told his boys to give the ball to the post. He also reminded them to improve their defense and to move the ball. He said, ang problema sa atin, hindi pwedeng pag may pressure, parating aatakihin. So Coach just wants the team to have some ball movement. With the first quarter being a tight match, Tamaraos will try to take a farther lead by playing hard and playing smart. Aaron and Marco.
Thank you for that report, Steph. Derek, thanks. Still can't get anything to go.
I think Coach Glenn was referring to Terrence Romeo on that huddle because the past how many occasions when Romeo was pressured, he'd attack and head up with an awkward shot. So Coach Glenn probably referring to that instance from Terrence Romeo.
Coach Pino, PS Bank maasahan assist. Sobrang bilis na, may prime rebate pa. PS Bank home loan. We've seen a lot of assists coming from FEU as we switch it over now to our Powerade hyper play of the quarter. Get back on defense, push the ball on offense, step up your game with Powerade.
But that's one of the things when you know that the team is playing team basketball. If you take a look at their assists, and FEU is 3rd in the league with 14 assists per ball game. So that is why also they have such a high scoring clip on a per game basis.
Let's send it over now to Patrick Cansana for a report. Pat, what's going on?
Coach Pero expressed how much he appreciates the offense of the boys. We are able to score because we are patient in our ball movement. That's why we are able to execute our plays well. He is also seeing that the boys are controlling their 3-point habit and they are now attacking the basket more, getting those fouls, which is making him happy. Now Coach will utilize on their post motion, pushing the ball inside. He reminded them to work on your ball fakes, just bluff, then attack. They are still having lapses on defense and Coach just wants them to stay close to their man. Aaron and Marco.
Thank you for that Samsung Courtside Update. Turn on tomorrow from Patch Cansana. This is our PS Bank Strong Power move. Sobrang bilis na, may prime rebate pa. PS Bank Home Loan. Chris Camos.
Oh, and as we see Carmelo Afuang, there's some blood dripping from his I think his forehead or his eyebrow.
So that would cue Paulo Pe to check in for UST, and we'll try and get a report from Patch later on to see what's the cause of that. 23-19 is the score, 4-point advantage for FEU. And you were saying this, Marco, just in a blink of an eye, it was so close now, it was even up to 6 at one point. FEU can just turn the switch on like that.
Because anybody on their 5 can actually score for them. So that is what UST has to be careful about.
Dakiwag for 3, no good. And Jarek Walling with a rebound.
So good stop here for FPU. That time, shot clock was down to 1 second, and it was a hurried shot by Ed Dakiwag.
R.R. Garcia, great pass to Aldrich Ramos, and that gives him 12 points to go along with his 8 rebounds.
That is the beauty of an R.R. Garcia. He saw 3 guys going to challenge him, drops it off to the open man down in the post. So easy 2 points for FPU.
Paulo Pe hounded by Aldrich Ramos. 7 on the 24. Fortuna, pick from Camus for 3. No good, and still no 3-pointers made for UST.
If I'm not mistaken, they're 0 for 7 from the 3-point line. And if you see the pressure that FU is employing, it's way above the 3-point area because they know that UST can light it up.
Camus, the bang in the bucket on that one, so that'll be the 3rd 3-point play opportunity for UST in the game. And this is our Alaksan FR Arayco Galinko shot of the game. Alaksan FR Arayco Galinko.
I know, Aaron, so far that is what is keeping UST in this ball game. The penetrations and baskets of Chris Camus, Melo, Afuang. So far, the big men are the ones that are carrying the load for UST.
Camus can't get that 3-point play to go. And Aldrich Ramos will pull down yet another board. RR hounded heavily, he still gets it past 24.
Ito na yung tinatawag ni Coach Pido na inaasawa.
Aldrich, Derek Walling can't get that 3 to go. Go over the board, so that will mean UST ball.
So that is a good stop there for UST. No second chance opportunities for FPU that time.
Derek Fortuna came off the bench yet again today. He's got 2 points, and UST needs to get on the board quick. Screen by Camus, Fortuna, 5 on the 24. Off the glass, gets it in.
And every time UST is penetrating to the basket, there's always a FEU big man up there to challenge for the block. So that's why that time Fortuna had to really float his shot, his layup.
Cruz to Kawaling. Now UST going with some pressure here.
Extreme pressure here from UST.
Kawaling almost loses the ball. There he does. And Fortuna and UST off and running. Camus off the glass, gets it in. Tying the ball game up again at 25.
So don't look now. The UST defense holding their own, forcing FEU to make several turnovers and scoring off of those turnovers.
So, and this is all without UST not making their 3-point shooting.
Exactly.
Sanga for 3. Gets it in. Oh, it was a 2 rather, not a 3, correction.
That was a long 2.
It was a long 2. Paulo Pe now. With Aldrich Ramos guarding him.
Not really the comfort zone for Paulo Pe.
Fortuna. Off the screen, pull up, no good, but there will be a foul from behind on R.R. Garcia. This is our Yaki Sobrang move that was brought to you by Nissin Yaki Soba. Nissin Yaki Sobrang Sarap. Derek Fortuna on that teardrop, and this is our Cornetto fast break. Sarap ng fast break na yan, ah. Parang Selecta Cornetto, sarap ng 20. 20.
And you know, I like what USC is doing. If you notice on the defensive end, the Kiwag is really hounding R.R. Garcia, so not allowing him any breathing room to set up the offense. On the offensive end, however, it's Fortuna who is attacking R.R. Garcia. So in the previous occasion, he drove against him. That time, took a jump shot against him. So applying pressure to Garcia on both ends of the court.
Clark Bautista checks into the game now for UST. So the question is, who will be the one guarding R.R. Garcia on the defensive end? So it looks like it will be Clark Bautista as Jarek Fortuna makes his charities trip.
And let's see if this exertion doesn't take anything away from the offense of Clark Bautista, which I guess oh no, they're going to a 2-3 zone is UST.
Eximiniano. Liddell. UST daring FEU to take a shot from the outside. R.R. Garcia obliges, hits that three-pointer. And you can dare everyone on that team except for R.R. Garcia.
Yes, and exactly, because I think the reason why they went to a 2-3 zone was because they realized there's no Sanga, there's no JR Kawaling, but it was R.R. Garcia who scored the three-point basket.
Paulope can't get that inside shot to roll. And FEU now looking to take advantage. UST switches back to a man-to-man defense here. Foul called on Clark Bautista. See, that's what we were saying. He has to keep up with R.R. Garcia. This is our Mentos three-point shot. And it's brought to us by Mentos Rainbow because it's better to know what's coming next. When you have to guard with your body, that's when you get the fouls called on you.
And of course, Clark Bautista not really known to be a great defensive player. Probably guarding one of the best, actually the best offensive player in the league right now.
Aldrich Ramos, no good. Rebound will go to FEU, and that means a fresh 24-second shot clock for the Tamaraos. 3-minute mark in the first half. Paulo Pe with a steal there off of a botch pass from Jens Nutel. Fortuna picks up his dribble, and Camus now. He hit 4 3-pointers in that last game, has yet to hit one this game. Mariano dishes it out to Camus. He hears me. No good is that 3-point attempt, but Mariano with the putback. Foul called on Nutel.
Well, Nutel had the right idea to try and tap it, but instead he tapped it towards the basket. So you tell your players when you're going to tap it, you tap it away from the basket instead of tapping it towards the basket.
Coach Glenn Cabasha needs to talk things over, and that timeout is brought to us by... We're back live here in the Phil Sports Arena. Aaron Ataide, Marco Benitez, Stephanie C. and Pat Kitsana reporting for FEU and UST respectively. Mariano to the line for 2. He misses the first one. 58.3% free throw shooter as he gets, well, the second one to go, right on average.
And UST going with a 2-2-1 full court press.
FEU will set up the play. Liddell at point guard.
They're going back to the 2-3 zone.
Eximiniano driving. Great defense off of that pass by Clark Bautista. Tapping that away, and this is our Hanes School cheer. Hanes, America's leading underwear brand.
And immediately Coach Glenn sending back Paul Sanga, because if you notice in the 2-3, they were really leaning towards R.R. Garcia, knowing that he's the only 3-point shooter in that lineup.
Nutel didn't notice the shot clock, and he just hurls it up, not noticing that they were about to get called for a 24-second shot clock violation.
That's another turnover for FEU. Let's see if UST can capitalize.
30-28. Last 2 minutes right now of the first half.
2 minutes.
10 on the 24. Camus, pull-up jumper, no good. Rebound to Paul Sanga. FEU already committing 10 turnovers in the game, and that is very uncharacteristic of them, as they only average 13.7 turnovers a game.
And that is why UST is right in the thick of things here. So that's going to be another turnover for FEU.
11 turnovers by the Tamaraos as Bautista pump fakes, blocked there by Aldrich Ramos. And FEU will look to counter-attack here.
And Aldrich Ramos is probably the guy that you don't want to drive against in any among the FEU lineup, because he leads the team, if I'm not mistaken, with 2 blocks, rightly 2 blocks per ball game.
Nwandu misses that one, and Camus loses possession.
And that is one of the most painful things. You already have a good stop, and just about the time when you get the ball, you still lose it.
And that is our clear anti-dandruff shampoo's high precision stop of the game, here by Clark Bautista. Garcia driving, teardrop, no good. Rebound will go to UST. And UST is doing a really good job on the glass today. Camus driving, spin move, finds Fortuna. no good, and that's still no three-pointers for UST in this game.
So right now, there's 0 for 9 from the three-point area, while FPU is 2 for 6 for 30%.
Nwandu. Aldrich Ramos, pull up, hits it. 14 points already for Aldrich Ramos to go with 9 rebounds and 2 blocks. 10 rebounds rather, so he already has a double-double.
And if you look at Chris Camus, he's getting it from way outside the three-point area, not really within his comfort zone. So good defense there by the big men of FEU.
Deng driving, Beck. Traveling called, and that's a turnover for the Growling Tigers. And this is our Solmyx Insta-Cool play. High performance of the quarter. Solmyx Chew Tab with Insta-Cool cough relief. Aldrich Ramos, 14 points, 7 for 10 from the field, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks. And this is our KFC Snack Box Hardcore Fan of the Game. Vote for your school. Win 3 days of free KFC.
I just want to point out, Aaron, Aldrich Ramos already with a double-double, and we're only going into halftime.
So Pipo Nwandu this time, in the first quarter it was, I believe, Aldrich Ramos,
yes. Aldrich Ramos.
who had the buzzer beater, and this time it was Nwandu. So it's 34-28, and this score update is brought to you by KFC UAP Snack Box. Score for your school with Shoot Your Vote promo by KFC. This is our Jollibee champ of the game candidate, Big Burger goodness like no other. Aldrich Ramos, 14 points, like I said earlier, 7 for 10 from the field. We'll cut to a break. When we come back, your halftime festivities and your statistical breakdown.
Third season of the UAAP, where we are now at the halftime break of the game between the FEU Tamaraws and the UST Growling Tigers. 28-34 with the Tamaraws in the lead. Now let's move on from some hardcore action to some cheerleading action by enjoying the back-to-back performances of the FEU cheering squad and the UST Salingawi dance troupe. This halftime cheer is brought to you by Samsung. Turn on tomorrow.